Okay, so for week 6 of spring anime, the season does continue. Gonna talk about some shows going on. I missed a few weeks, I took a break, but stuff keeps going on. These episode developments are so crazy and unexpected. ReZero, they're doing like some more random exams, climbing up this tower, like what is happening? Which had Atelier, we're meeting more characters and each of them are kind of giving Coco a hard time, bro. It's suffering being her every week. So yeah, we haven't really had any fun magic adventures. It's just like a lot of trials and tests for Coco. The romance shows do continue. It looks like a lot of people are admitting their feelings for like the self-insert ones. I've been liking Marriage Toxin. It's like pretty nice and fun, has the Spy Family vibe. Same with like Kill Blue, that's also going on. And yeah, there's one show I like above all of them in the romance genre this season. It's Pardon the Intrusion, I'm Home. So that one's just like a super cute love triangle. I like the adult characters and the dialogue seems pretty well written. In the 4 seasons show, there's like random acts of terrorism. Nippon Sangoku I've been liking as well. Very well written, kind of like military strategy going on in these past few episodes. And yeah, you know, if we killed the fat guy, I feel like we can achieve world peace. Besides that, slice of life shows also continue. Botan Kamiina, probably like the star of the season and the cute girls doing cute things genre. So yeah, either we're just meeting new characters. The drinking goes on. I think like the only painful thing is like the trauma that the RA has. Everyone in the dorm wants to drink with her. All these cute girls are dying to drink together, but she doesn't want to. She can only drink with Botan. And besides that, finally Dorohedoro, I'll talk about it, but yeah, you know, insane development. We finally realized who put the spell on Kaiman and he's back to normal. And there's like a lot of like crazy developments. So yeah, you know, it's par for the course for Dorohedoro. But besides that, yeah, let's get started with the week. So yeah, we have Witch Hat Atelier. We're on episode 7, but yeah, before that we like faced the dragon, beat it. Kifri came in to save all the girls, like an insane drawing pose, him flying through the air, clearing the clouds, and like making this golden water dragon to beat the dragon. That was sick. And then the girls also like kind of working together to like make this cloud spell to make the dragon fall asleep. Very cute way to like just like overcome the obstacles. And yeah, we see Kifri, he might be a little like evil, threatening people, trying to hide the truth because maybe he's trying to like face the brim hats himself. So yeah, there's like some hidden darkness within Kifri, so that's going on. And yeah, besides that, recently what's been going on, we meet some more characters. First one is Olrugio. So he's like this black haired dude just like chilling in their Atelier. So he's a watchful eye, basically kind of like a policeman guard to make sure, you know, magic is not being misused since they're kind of far away from like their main headquarters. So yeah, he shows up, he sees Coco and he doesn't know who she is. So then he's trying to like report her, but then Kifri's like, bro, that's my apprentice. So it shows that they really care about each other, but then there's also like more people that Coco has to deal with to like kind of, you know, establish herself in the magical world. It seems that forbidden magic is that serious, like she can't really have a chance to breathe. Everyone's like kind of wary about like how dangerous she is. So that's going on, but then we see Olrugio kind of warms up to Coco, her kind of like cute inspiration with magic. She just like loves all the simple spells and everything. We see that the spell we saw in the first episode where like the floor lights up was actually Olrugio's original spell. So he created it, it's like pretty simple. You just put pressure on the floor and then it activates the seal. That kind of makes Olrugio kind of like care for her, I guess. It looks like Olrugio's like specialized in like kind of like fire magic. It's kind of like contrast to Kifri who does like water spells. So that's interesting. And then yeah, next episode there's some like trouble. There's like a caravan that like collapsed in the river. There's like a lot of rain and flooding. So yeah, they kind of like go to the witch's house to like ask for help. So yeah, we see all these kind of like normal people. They're getting rescued by the river. All the apprentices also show up. So yeah, you know, Kifri has this magic water cutting sword. So they're able to rescue most of the people, and then they're looking to kind of like repair the flood damage. But then Agat's also there. She feels like a bit inferior. We get bits and pieces of her backstory again, which might explain why she's so like antagonistic to Coco. It looks like she had a lot of pressures from her family and she can really keep up with them. So I guess that's why she's like a reject. So yeah, she has like some toxic family drama there. Maybe she feels jealous of how like, you know, Coco's getting special treatment. So yeah, she just wants to prove herself. She also has like that inferiority complex. But basically Kifri and Olrugio, they kind of separate to investigate both ends of the river. That leaves Agate here by herself with Coco, and then, you know, everyone's like fine, but then we see this kid Custis. So he tries to like kind of rescue some of the cargo that like fell off on the cliff, and then he falls down, bro. What do you expect would happen? So he gets crushed by a boulder by the river. He doesn't drown, but looks like he's super injured, knocked out. Coco also kind of fell, but then she's able to climb back up, and then she's able to draw a spell while Agate like distracts everybody, and then she's able to use like the wall breaker spell they learned from Riche in the dragon fight, and then just like break the rock on top of Custis and then, you know, fly away. And then Agate also helped distract them. So yeah, you know, good team up from them. It looks like, you know, they are warming up to each other, and, you know, problem solved. We save some more people, except except we see this new guy come in, Estes. So he's like literally part of the magic police, and it looks like Coco's spell to destroy the rock. It actually turned the entire river into sand. So yeah, it's kind of like extremes, like a natural disaster over here. So he's part of like the Knights Morales, and they tie up Agate and Coco. They're about to erase Coco's memory. It feels like every arc, like someone's trying to erase her memory. So yeah, we kind of end the episode there cliffhanger as both of them get captured while, you know, trying to save the citizens. And besides that, yeah, there's one theme here, you know, being Coco is suffering. Also after that, we have ReZero season 4. So yeah, we're on 6 episodes. And yeah, what is happening? Like, we're in this tower, and I guess Shala, she's not really what we expected. She's like in love with Subaru. I think Subaru is her master, and it looks like her master is named Flugel, who's actually like the real like sage. I think like with all the hints here, it's pointed that Subaru might just literally be Flugel. He might be the sage, the wise man. And then the thing is, like, there might be some time travel shenanigans, like maybe in the future or in a Doom timeline, he was actually the wise man. Who knows? But basically, Shala is like, you know, loving Subaru and kind of like, you know, helping him, guiding him up the tower. She's a bit useless though. And then the thing is, they have to kind of like solve these trials themselves. And also, it looks like if they fail the trials or they can't like, you know, completely solve them, Shala will kill them. So there's like some rules here. Basically, you know, if Subaru really is the wise man, then he should have no problem. So a lot of like funny fan service moments, I guess, as, you know, characters just going with the flow. These trials don't really make too much sense, but you don't really have to think too deep about them. The first one is like they're in the library, and there's like a lot of magic doors, and they have to find like the correct order of doors to touch. And then it has to do with like this constellation star formation in Earth. And then Subaru actually knows because he's a constellation nerd apparently. So yeah, random ass trial gets solved by Subaru. So they keep going on the tower, and then the current one is like there's this dude who's like the stick swinger. Apparently he's like the first sword saint. He has like red hair, and he's just like kind of overpowered dude. He doesn't really need a sword to fight you. He can beat you with chopsticks. And I guess the win condition is to make him move a single step. I think the problem is he cheated here because yeah, in the current episode 6, I didn't really like it. I wasn't really a big fan because I thought it was forced Julius development where he actually beat the stick swinger. He made him like move a lot of steps. The sword swinger just like changed the rules and then like, you know, beat him up after her. And then Anastasia also got really angry. I was like, girl, he's not really in any danger. Like it's an honorable night duel. People were saying, oh, it's like her inner instinct to try to protect Julius. And then Amelia shows up. So she comes next, throws a bunch of ice at him, and he doesn't really move. He just like stands still while blocking like all the ice projectiles. But then like he takes his chopsticks he's using as his weapon, pokes Amelia in the boobs, and then Amelia like takes that moment of distraction because he thought like she'd be embarrassed, and then she hits him with this like giant chunk of ice. So basically, you know, just like random anime hijinks. I did not really like this trial or episode at all. Just like so many things that like didn't really matter or make sense. But basically, they beat the stick swinger. The thing is, he changes the rules again. He's like, Amelia can go forward. She passed the trial, but no one else can. I was like, bro, they're an entire group. You can't just change the rules like this. I was hoping Subaru called him out on it, but he didn't. Like, bro, isn't your skill able to talk to people? Can't you convince them? But no, that's why I thought it was forced Julius development, because so many like contrived things happened in this current episode. Also after that, we have Akane-banashi. So we have 7 episodes. The show is picking up. We're meeting more characters. Akane is kind of sharpening her skills now, working with all the other older Rakugo apprentices. Yeah, you know, things are looking up for her. I really like the development, because also we have a competition coming. It's like an amateur competition with just like up and coming Rakugo people. But yeah, no one really knows about Akane, but she's like pretty much the strongest person in the competition. So yeah, it's not really fair. So yeah, her master Shiguma, he actually gives her a debuff. He's like, you can only perform one story in this amateur competition. It's gonna be Jugemu, which is just like a story about a dude with a really long name. So yeah, the skill here is to like kind of be able to say the name. It's like a tongue twister and say it like without flubbing her words. So, and also like the thing is, it's like kind of like an easy story to tell. So the fact that she's gonna perform the same story, the crowd might not get interested. They might like get the joke already. So it might not land the second time. So Akane has to find a way to like kind of enhance the story to, you know, win the competition. So I like the development so far. I like the new characters. So it really just feels like nice shonen anime progression. You know, Akane getting stronger. There's some kind of like hard trials for her to overcome. And then yeah, she has to win the competition. It'll get her like to her goal, which is to question why Arakawa fired her dad. That's like the thing we all want to know. It's probably something obvious, like maybe not like growing the profession for the future. It's like a dying art. It might be something like that. We'll see. But you know, Akane kind of like, you know, the favorite in this competition. We'll see what's gonna happen as she keeps performing. And then there's like some other interesting competitors here as well. We also have Nippon, Sangoku, Sangoku. So yeah, 7 episodes so far. Very good show. I've been liking it every week. I like the storytelling, love the smart characters, battle intellect, all the stuff they're talking about. The music as well, cool action and animation. There's so much like kind of strategy, fight moments, and also like aura battles. Characters are like, I can't give up now. I can't surrender. We're gonna fight to the death. So basically, the big thing here is that the Sei, they're attacking, they're trying to invade, and then Ryumon, he's like trying his best to like avoid a lot of casualties, but yeah, the war is starting. So it's a bunch of like battle through intelligence, and then trying to avoid the fat dude of the home affairs, Tyra. So like he's the dictator. We would achieve world peace already if this dude was out. Also, it's like kind of like a naive way to think things. Like he has all the military might. You can't just like assassinate him. Ryumon is trying to smartly like strategize against him. It looks like in this episode, Tyra, he left his son with this kind of like defector of the Sei. The thing is, this dude is not a double agent. He's like baiting them. So they come to invade enemy territory to think it's safe, but then the enemies try to like attack them. So it's kind of like a cool character development moment for the little kid because he tied up the actual general, and then the general is like the only one alive here. So they kind of like escape, try to run away, and then there's like some reinforcements that help them. So it basically looks like the little kid, if he survives, he might question his dad, bro, like what's wrong with you? It looks like Tyra doesn't really care about anybody, not even his own family. He just wants to get more military power. We see Misumi. I'm kind of like interested in him because he's not really directly involved with the war yet. He's still in Osaka, but looks like he's kind of figuring things out. So yeah, look out for him. He might do some important things in the future as well. And also, yeah, Wajima, she seems like a good leader, but also she's like a dictator. So yeah, even though she's ruling with compassion, there's a lot of propaganda involved there as well. She's kind of like forcing people to fight for her. There's like a lot of interesting dynamics. It seems like both sides are like using propaganda. So yeah, that's just like a part of war. Also, we have Botan Kamiina fully blossoms when drunk. So a very cute show. So we have 6 episodes. In this new episode, we meet a new character actually. So yeah, it's like this Taiwanese transfer student. Her name is Chinlan, and she's super cute. She's like a blob character. But then also we introduce her randomly, and then they explore a cave with her, which is pretty daunting, I guess. Like these girls aren't really dressed up to hike, and then she's kind of scared of the dark. But then yeah, Botan kind of guides her. It looks like Botan is just like unintentionally raising these girls. So she helps Chinlan kind of escape the cave, and then it's all good. But basically, one thing happens here as well, that Chinlan, she wants to drink with everybody, but then Ibuki, the RA, she's like, I'll pass. But then she actually gets jealous because she invites Botan herself, and then now Ibuki doesn't want to get NTR'd, so they like all 3 of them drink together. So they're able to do it, but then Ibuki gets like kind of self-conscious with their hiccups. Also at the same time, Chinlan, she actually gets super drunk, so they have to get a hostel. So Ibuki actually suggested it to Botan earlier, and then it was supposed to be like a one-on-one Yuri hostel moment, but yeah, now they have to kind of nurse Chinlan to health. So they go to the hostel, all 3 of them. We see they drink in the lobby while Chinlan is like resting. And yeah, it looks like Chinlan has some feelings for Botan as well, as like she like took care of her. But basically, a lot of cute developments. Stories like pretty painful sometimes because Ibuki is like the main obstacle we have to overcome. Like it could be cute girls doing cute things, it could be everybody happy. But yeah, it looks like Ibuki, she doesn't want to drink with anybody. She's still self-conscious. We get more about her backstory on how like her first time in college drinking with a lot of friends, like they all just like talk shit about her. They're kind of annoying hiccuping like that. Could you keep it down? So yeah, I mean that's just like an infinite trauma that she can't really overcome until Botan was there. So yeah, it won't be that easy, but cute moments with them drinking still go on. We also have Daemons of the Shadow Realm. We're on 7 episodes, so the story keeps going on. It's a bit confusing sometimes. We get some like village drama between the Higashi village, that's where Yuru grew up with, and then the Kagemori clan, that's where Asa's staying in. So it looks like basically the story kind of revolves around Yuru and Asa being like twins with a lot of power grown from the village. It seems like the village and the clan, they both like are opposed to each other for some reason, and then yeah, the village actually sent assassins to kill Asa. That's where she awoke in her break power. So that's interesting. It also like leads to some questions. Does the village themselves have ownership of the twins' powers because they grew up there? That's where, the power comes from. Or, are they using them for evil? Is the Higashi clan good? It looks like both of the clans are kind of not good or bad, but they have their motivations. I think the Kagemori clan that they're staying in right now, they're kind of framed to be like the good people, but also, yeah, we don't really know too much about them. So all of that's going on, interesting setup so far. It looks like even though the clans are antagonistic to each other, like we see Yuru's guardian just like walking in here and they just don't kill him. So I'm kind of of confused on like how hostile they really are to each other because, you know, they were sending military soldiers to wipe them out in the village in the mountain. So again, I think the anime is really good, you know, decent quality, good fights. But at the same time, it feels like these clan dynamics are a bit too like immersion breaking because yeah, they have kind of like weird motivation and moral systems. So again, I don't think it's like black and white. It's not like one clan is evil, one clan is not, but it seems like the overarching theme will be that the mountain clan are like low-key evil because they're sending assassins, and then Yoro and Asa's parents try to run away from them. Like Kagemaru clan is like good because they're trying to like, you know, help them. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. Also, we have the 4 seasons anime. We're on episode 8. So yeah, you know, like the story kind of goes on. It looks like, you know, we're getting bits and pieces of the past. This episode 8 was basically what happened to Hinagiku, how she got kidnapped earlier. It was basically her hanging out in the Winter Clan's area as kind of like a tradition to get to know each other. And then yeah, at the same time, it was like cute childhood moments. Hinagiku being like a moe anime girl, and then them becoming friends, her and the Winter Agents. But at the same time, they all got attacked by these terrorists, and then Hinagiku, she didn't want anyone to die. So she kind of like made this giant tree barrier and then offered her as a sacrifice while like everyone else goes free. It was interesting. We don't really know what the terrorist goals are. Maybe they just want to kill winter because winter sucks. People don't like it to be cold. It'll kill their crops. But again, I guess we'll see because yeah, the terrorists are also here again. Looks like the same woman that like kind of mind broke Hinagiku. She's also attacking the Autumn's agent. And it looks like they bombed the Autumn agent's place. It was so funny because she's also like a little sweet girl like Hinagiku. And then yeah, she just gets exploded. It looks like her power, she can suck the life out of others though, so she's able to like heal herself. And that's why the terrorists kind of kidnap her instead of kill her. A big story point, we have to rescue the fall season, or else she'll get mind broken like Hinagiku maybe. So we'll see what's gonna happen. So after that, we have some romance shows. I'll go over them really quickly because there's a lot of them. But the main one I want to talk about, Tadaima Ojamashimasu, or Pardon the Intrusion, I'm Home. This one I've been liking more than all the other romance shows this season. So we have 6 episodes. Like again, it's not like it doesn't reinvent the wheel or anything. I just think the dialogue is like super nice. It just feels like kind of like decently written. I guess like the main hurdle in this show is that like there's like a fake relationship where the main girl Rinko, she kind of likes both of the people she lives next to, but at the same time they're not really able to push this relationship, mainly because like she's a bit oblivious. She's kind of like, she doesn't think she's worthy of these people. So, you know, story's like pretty funny at times. You know, the development might be a bit painful, but the main reason this anime stuck out to me this season is the more kind of like realistic type of reactions from everybody. I've been liking the fun like spy family shows this season. So yeah, Marriage Toxin and Kill Blue, very similar. I think Marriage Toxin's a bit more fun, but basically just like, you know, crazy wacky concepts with characters with like superpowers fighting each other, and then also yeah, you know, trying to develop a relationship. So Marriage Toxin, Garo's like, you know, saving more girls, adding more people to his contact list. It's like pretty cute development so far with him and Kinosaki just like helping people. We also have Kill Blue, just like, you know, another interesting show this season. They basically just like, you know, assassin themed, and the main dude kind of like looking out for this girl as he's trying to, you know, get his body back to normal. The other shows go on like The Second Prettiest Girl, Gallo Taku, and also like The Ramparts of Ice. So, you know, just like typical developments for all of them. I'm kind of disappointed with the Ice anime because I did like it a lot, but now it feels a bit repetitive and kind of like nothing progression. So it's just like a personal thing. It doesn't really ruin the show or anything, but yeah, it kind of just like boils down to each character are just like very nice. They just have like, you know, something they're dealing with, but they just have to like communicate with each other to overcome it. That is pretty much what's happening. Dorohedoro season 2 also continues, so we have 9 episodes. Pretty crazy development. I don't really want to spoil too much, but I guess since the season is almost over, basically a lot of progression. And a long story short, we see the leader of the Cross Eyes. He seems to be the next antagonist. So yeah, that's going on. It looks like Kaimon, maybe did he split up into 2 people? But yeah, besides that though, you know, interesting developments. We got a lot more character backstories and, you know, cool fights. Wistoria Wand and Sword also continues. I haven't been keeping up too much, but I think we have 6 episodes. You know, Will kind of like defeating all the enemies, but his, you know, sword Super Saiyan powers. I think he's able to climb the tower. Maybe he'll meet his blue-haired waifu soon. So yeah, we'll see. You know, story is still pretty boring to me. It's like very painful progression. I think the quality is fine. I like, you know, all the action we started the season off with. There's like very generic progression for the story. Besides that, there's some other like cute slice of life shows. We have the Food Diary of Miss Maid. There's like, you know, cute moe Maid here. She's a bit autistic coded maybe, but yeah, she just likes eating food. We get more of like her backstory as well. So yeah, apparently she's Asian. That kind of explains why she's romanticizing all the Japanese food because she grew up in Britain. But basically she's like, you know, spending summer with all her friends together. There's some festivals there, eating more food. We also have the manga cafe anime, so Ichijyoma Mankitsugurashi. This one's also just like super cute. Just like girls working in a manga cafe. It's a bit weird and sus sometimes, but you know, just like a chill slice of life show with all these girls. And it's pretty much it this week. Those are shows I've been keeping up with. Thank you for watching. But a lot of like fun new anime this season. I'm gonna keep up with more more shows. And yeah, a lot of fun, interesting developments are going on. You know, thank you for watching. Let me know what shows you've been liking this week, and if I missed any. But yeah, I'll see you later. Peace.